balls. Yes, I am a little bit addicted to balls as the prop. And the reason some of this came up today for me to video was a client was having trouble with going forward, getting dizzy and whatnot. So it's like, no equipment and everything. So it's like, okay, I need to think of some moves that we can do using the ball that still get everything in that I want to in a session, especially extension and spine movement. So I got creative with it. So I'm going to use this against the wall and, well, kind of hope you enjoy it. Not going to do against the wall to begin with though, because I really like having the ball here. So you've got your ankle bones and you just put it a little bit above, and it's not to squeeze it to kind of burst it. I'm not trying to burst it. I'm just off my wall because I'm really worried I'll chop my head off. It's there as what Kathy Grant actually used to call a space hold. So it's there, but it's not a massive squeeze. So, oh look, this is keeping the distance between me. So typically, again, 4 or 5 inches apart with the feet, which means that my heels are underneath where my hip socket is, and I just stand. You don't have to do that, but you can. So from there, what you're going to do is, if I'm keeping my arms out the way, you're thinking tall. And from here, you lift up through the heels and you come back down. So you want to not lean too much forward. You're thinking of going straight up to the ceiling. So depending on where someone's posture obviously is to start off with, the temptation would be to lean forward. So I'm doing my utmost, and my hand is against the wall. It's kind of handy to come straight up to the top and back down. So we're kind of starting at the feet to get the body warmed up. Now, what you want to look out for is ankles rolling out. You want to keep pressure into the big toe, zip up through the belly. It's like you're drawing the ball up in towards your body. Slowly control the heels going down. What tends to, there's a wall. What tends to happen is boom. So control the lengthening phase of the move. And so I'm going to inhale to come up. And then exhale to go down. Maybe exhale helps you come up. Think inhale to stay long as you lower. So again, a lot of the time play with the breath. Now what we're going to add at the bottom is a knee bend, sending the knees straight forward and back. So it goes heels up, heels down, knees bend, keeping the torso upright, knees straight. So you go lift, lower, knees, and straighten. So now what I'm doing is getting different joints. I could go into a deeper squat and up, so up, down, or I can do a vertical spine squat, which is a different feeling for the calves. So you can play around with that. If it's you training you right now, I suggest you do both. As a trainer watching this, again, do both, but just decide, what does the body want? Look, I can do a combo. Oh, so many options. Now, what are we going to do? We're going to do that knee bend. Keeping it upright to begin. Check out, heels come up, legs go straight, heels go down. Knee bend, heels up, stand tall, heels down. So if you're, now I'm going to take the squat more. If you normally train on a reformer, you'll kind of know this sort of action. That's really wobbly when I'm in a full squat here to do that for me. And I think the great thing with playing around with movement and not just typically following the same stuff is that you start to discover more where strengths and weaknesses are. I almost got it. I'm so glad this wall's hit. Now we're going to reverse it. So up, knees bend, heels stay high, heels go down, stand up. My hands are just out the way to see. Obviously you could be holding, my elbow is also touching the wall, to be honest. It's giving me a bit of support. Heels down here when I'm in this squat is a lot more of a challenge for me because I am relatively tight calfed. When I do this, I really have to lengthen through the back of my ankles and Achilles. Not a bad thing in the slightest. Boom. We're going to hit one more here. So again, I can stay vertical in it. Much different challenge. And okay, so that just sort of gets the feet working, coming through. Now you're going to take that ball, just put it a little higher than the knees. It's still a space hold. Sorry, I can't do a side view for you here. You're going to have your shoulders and your butt against the wall, so you're in a squat position. Hands can stay down for a while, and then think bridging. So you roll your pelvis, and now all that's against the wall is my mid back. Okay, I've got a diagonal here, and then I'm going to roll my spine back down on the wall. Of course, you could be lower in the squat. You could be a little bit higher in the squat, but I'm still managing to articulate my spine, pushing into the heels, dragging them towards the wall, curling under, reach. I'm trying to think diagonal line, knees, hips to shoulders, from the chest to the mid back to the lower back. So if I come down a bit more, much more work into the quads. So if you're training for skiing, it could be a great one for you. If I move my feet further away, a little bit less work on the quads, and I can still try to encourage that tucking under sensation through the under butt muscles to get my bridge. One more go. Again, play with how low, play with what sensations you want. Squeezing in of the ball helps to connect up into the inner thigh, and it's more challenging than you realise. Then we're going to come back down, so a little shake out. I'm finding a halfway point for my own body. So from there again, I've bridged away. You can have no hands, absolutely fine. It's a bit more challenging. Now you tuck under, zip up, hold this still, straighten one leg and down. Oh, straighten. Now, what we're looking for is you keep, so my head is light on the wall, but you keep this pelvis still, not this. So this very, very different challenge to the body and to gravity. And I'm really personally struggling when I pick up my right leg. I have to think quite a lot what my left leg does, which is why when you get used to bridging on the floor, you can have your hands down, you get used to bridging on the floor, all of a sudden bring yourself up here. It's like, wow, totally different feeling. Now, if I come down more into that squat feeling and bridge up, keeping that hip up, oh my Lord. This is really having to make a lot of effort for me here. Literally, I'm on just a bit higher than my bra strap. I'm in between my shoulder blades on the back. Look, my head is pretty loose. And I'm noticing again whether one side is easier. I could come down more. Oh yeah! Honestly, try different ranges. It's fascinating. Obviously, we could also go butt close to the wall into the squat and do it here. The ball for me is great because if the ball rolls, you know that you've twisted your hips. Wow, it's a massive challenge for me to do that leg. This is the leg, if you don't know much about me, I have had a slipped disc in the past. Sometimes plays me up, and this was my affected leg. And this is highlighting to me that, yeah, I need to work through that left glute area. Ready? For stability. Massive challenge onto the legs. Oh, so shake it out. So now the ball is going to go behind one butt cheek, and you're standing relatively upright. Relatively, so as in you're not on a diagonal. It's a different challenge with the ball there. You want to be on the ball a bit, but I'm not pushing into it. Find your lift. So here I'm still in neutral, and then we go, staying all still here, we pick up this leg. Please, you could bend the supporting knee, depending on what you're after in your own body and in your client. Stretch this leg out, and we have, whoa, single leg circles. So if I have my hands on the wall there, of course, much, much easier for me to control. And it's more my right hand, left leg, right arm, doing more of the support. If I take them away, that's what I want to do. So different, different challenge for what's going on. My hands are light. I'm not on it. And things are just having to work so much differently for me here. One more. Oh, changing onto the other side. So as I said at the start, really good for people who are struggling to be on the floor, maybe who have balance issues, because you've got the ball and the wall, so you can actually help them with that. Wow, look at that, much better. And also if they have like movement sickness, lying on the floor, if they've got a hangover, also good. Yeah, I know, I had a client once who I was training and couldn't lie on their back because they were a little bit hungover. Happy that they came in, but they also did struggle lying on their front. They also had a few issues lying on their side. It was a challenge to say the least, which is always good as a trainer, yeah? So use your hands to feel sometimes what exactly is happening. It can help. And really lovely with the ball. Now it's going to come higher up the body. This is the place that if I'm doing back bends, I would put it if I was on the floor. Again, heels underneath your hips. They're not going to be against the wall because that would push me into a tilt. I'm standing like you would do if you've ever used the big fit balls, hands behind your head. So you can take your arch back here and then flex down and under. Now, if I do this, I'm actually sticking my butt back, seeing if I can get my butt to touch the wall and my elbows as well, curling the tail under, dropping down. So if the person didn't want to move their head today, then, you know, just tuck under, tuck the elbows in. You don't have to look down. Same here, you can move the spine without moving the head. So I'm going into full flexion. It's like a standing cat. It's a little bit kinder with the knees being soft. So please try that and try different amount of bends. This is a great back bend to try to get my butt to touch the wall and open up this part of my ribs and then close me down. One more, so someone's struggling, actually hands here as well. If I push on the wall, that can help me to open up across the chest. So from here, we're upright, the ball, again, same position, hands behind the head. Now without moving the pelvis, turn one way. So I'm turning to my right, I'm going to tuck my left elbow in. Left elbow opens, turn to the left, tuck the right elbow in. So I'm soft knees again. I am rolling the ball across my upper back. So when you're turning right, you actually almost want to think you're counter twisting and pushing the right hip forward to help keep this bit still, rather than letting the whole body go with it, which is a move if you want it to be, but I'm really trying to isolate into the twist. So I'm actually thinking crisscross right now, but it's an upright crisscross. Bringing the feet together, because when you twist to the left, you're going to lift the left knee, take it down, twist right, lift right knee. So this does become much more like crisscross, but with a straight elongated spine. Whoa! And it is more challenging than you think. Yay, trust me. Try and look calm. Not happening inside, my body's going, oh, you're on camera. The legs together is easier. If you'd had your legs wide apart, you'd have to really shift across. Options, but not what I'm inviting you to try today. Now we can add on. So twisted right, left knee comes up. I take that left knee towards my left elbow, so towards my right knee. Come back up, open at the top, other knee. So this really is a flexion standing. So you just keep opening up. Again, if their head doesn't feel happy going down, then please stay in the upright one. You're still getting, I keep hitting the wall with my elbow. You're still getting huge amounts of work going on in here. And massively good balance. So if the balance is compromised, you can always put your hand on the wall, look. Yeah, hand on wall, lift and twist. So you can see how much more stable that is making me. And I can just reach my hand across instead. I could actually look upwards rather than dropping my head down. As I do it, rather than dropping down there, I'm looking over to the diagonal just so someone doesn't get dizzy. One more go. And relax. Now you're moving it down, middle of the butt, so against your sacrum. And from there, we're actually just going to finish this little sequence here. So I'm in the ball. I'm going to fold over my legs, and I'm actually thinking I'm rolling the ball up. When I roll up, I'm thinking roll the ball down to the floor. So gyrotonic-wise, it's kind of like an arch and curl, or it's a bit of a cat. I'm just going to let my hands dangle, to be honest here. So the bum goes up, roll the ball up the wall. I'm getting straighter legs for a bigger stretch. Bend the knees, curl the tail. Imagine you're trying to push the ball to the floor and coming up. Last one coming on. Straightening the legs, great stretch. Curl under and okay, then just hold the ball in your hands, separate your feet 4 inches. If they're okay to roll down, then finish with a roll down. If not, go back to maybe lifting the heels up. Breathe out to roll up. The ball is a great bit of kit to use in the hands as well. So reach and open, and that is phase 1 of using it. Still got some more stuff to do, but trying to keep these shorter because they tend to get carried away. Anyway, hope you enjoy it. Tune on in to the next one. Thanks. Oh, please subscribe. Thank you.